Hey, I'm so glad you've joined with us today as we continue our study on the book of James. I'm Keola, one of the pastors at City Church, California, and in this lesson, we're going to take a quick look at the audience of this letter. Since we've been studying this in church, we wanted to give you a little bit more content, context, information, and knowledge on the masterpiece of this writing. So let's get started. Most scholars believe that this book is most likely the first book written in the New Testament. They place this writing sometime between 40 and 50 AD. That's approximately only 7 years after Jesus' ascension into heaven. This letter is written to the church at large, capital C, not one small local church like some of the other books we see in the New Testament. And James is going to aim his focus on Jews and Jewish believers since they were the majority of the early church. And again, this book is coming out very early in our Christian faith movement. Now, when this letter is written, the church had been going through famine and persecution. They were having a lot of difficulties from Jewish leaders and outside sources, and this time of hardship is going to continue for them for about 20 years while James leads Jesus' followers. So James is writing to people who are in a tough social situation. They're meeting in home churches outside of Palestine, and as a result of the troubles that they are facing from external sources, conflict has begun to enter the churches, and they have splintered into fighting factions. And some of the people have fallen into this worldly lifestyle and have failed to put their faith into practice. They have become double-minded, as James says, faltering between God and the world. So he writes this letter to all of Jesus' followers, and he isn't trying to introduce a new doctrine. He's simply going to challenge people in how they have been living. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the audience of the book of James. I hope this gives you a little bit more insight as you begin to dive in and study these much-needed scriptures.